YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. You join me. It is episode number 2 of the Road to 2021 series. Thank you so much for all of the love, all of the views and the comments on my last video. It is so nice to be back on YouTube, and yeah, I'm just not annoyed at myself. I get why I didn't, but I'm just glad that we're all here and that we are gonna have regular videos. I was about to say till I die, but I don't know if I can commit to that. Definitely until stage. So today's video is going to be a full day of eating with calories and macros, because I am currently into my 4th week of a mini cut, which is basically something that you do in bodybuilding. I say it like that because obviously I'm just so new to the whole process. So this is something that you do, not you, me, in bodybuilding, right? So obviously after my show got cancelled, so annoying, after my show got cancelled, like the goal is to build muscle now till stage next year. So next year I'm gonna look, fingers crossed, 1,000 times better than I was gonna look this year, and that's because I will have taken an off season, which is basically a period of time where you sit in a surplus of calories and you build muscle. So that was gonna be a process from what, April till January, February next year. So to do that amount of time in a surplus is going to be pretty shit for body confidence, because obviously you're just literally putting on weight, and you're not putting on unnecessary fat, but you are obviously going to lose definition, which, to be honest, was quite a big mental challenge for me coming out of prep. But obviously I wasn't on YouTube then, I wasn't really sharing much of it, but it was definitely a mental battle. So obviously, like I was saying, like you don't want to, like, it's a long time to be in a surplus. Appetite is gonna vanish, which mine did. Like by the end of my first phase of my off season before this mini cut, I didn't even like food anymore, and I'm the biggest foodie ever, so I was just struggling to get my calories in every day. Like to begin with, like it's really fun and you're like, oh my god, I have so many carbs, I'm gonna have cereal, I'm gonna have bagels, and then by the end of it you're just like, yeah, okay, the novelty's worn off now. So obviously appetite is a big one. Another one is just like how responsive your body is. It has actually worked out quite nicely, because I am doing a video shoot for a new project next week, and we kind of worked it, me and Callum kind of sat down and worked it so that I would have my mini cut just before this video shoot, because I can guarantee you I would not have been filming in a sports bra 4 weeks ago. I was like baggy t-shirt and leggings in the gym. So 3 weeks in, I'm feeling a lot more confident in the way that I look, which is nice. My calories are pretty low. They are 1,600 a day, and yeah, I'm happy so far. Like obviously I'm nowhere near as lean as I was at the back end of prep, but yeah, it's been a successful 3 weeks. It's been nice to have the focus of dieting, and I've been doing a lot more cardio and not having to not force feed, that's such an exaggeration, but it has been nice to diet basically. So in this video I'm going to be doing a full day of eating. I'm going to show you everything that I'm eating on this mini cut, and I'm also just going to go through some pictures on my mini cut as well. So I'll show you like how I started, and then I'll show you my check-ins from this week. I hope everybody is well. Like the video if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new. It is actually a Wednesday morning at the moment. I am just doing my last morning of client check-ins. I've had my coffee. I'm on to my second caffeinated beverage of the day, which is a tea. I'm trying to wean myself off Volvic, so we've gone for Buxton water this morning, and I'm going to make my first meal in about an hour. It is 8:30. time is 11:30. I had my first meal, which you saw, which was the pancakes. You'll be glad to know that I do actually weigh my pancake mix out now, after the absolute disaster I had a couple of months ago, where I realised that through my whole life, including prep, I'd actually been tracking that pancake mix inaccurately, because I'd just gone by what my protein told me on the back, that 2 scoops was 50 grams I think, but it turns out 2 scoops is actually 70 grams. So we learned from that story. Don't trust scoops and backs of packaging. Anyway, meal 1 down, I'm already hungry, it's time for meal 2. I'm training today, and throughout the last sort of week, or maybe like 2 weeks, I've been having this as my pre-workout, bearing in mind my carbs were quite low. It's basically blueberries, whey paste and peanut butter, which is literally the best combination in the world. And I'm gonna show you right now how to make it, because I know, and I already get it on Instagram. Oh my god, G, how did you make your whey like that? Why, what did you add? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the recipe. Bearing in mind, I don't do recipes. Okay, so you will need, let me just show you what we've got here. It's reasonably basic, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm still gonna run you through it anyway. So, main bowl, frozen blueberries, 200 grams, I feel like I'm on like a cooking show or something, but realistically I'm just making whey protein with blueberries. So 200 grams of those, that's literally bang on there, look at that empty packet. And then in a separate little bowl, we're gonna add the whey. I've been loving this one recently, which is the salted caramel from Per 4M. I don't even know, but either way, it's really nice. This is not going well. So, 40 grams of this. Then, watch this bit, because this bit is the important part. This is the main part of the recipe, yeah? This is where you can make or break this. So, you could use water, but I'm gonna use oat milk. Add in the oat milk, and then stir. So this is the kind of consistency of the protein. Blueberries, we pour this in over the top, and then we add the, what's it called? Peanut butter. We add the peanut butter, and I feel like a lot of people know this hack, but I'm going to show you anyway, because I did put it on my Instagram once and everyone was like, oh my god, my mind is blown. So rather than putting the bowl on the scales and then scooping this out and trying to get it accurate, peanut butter on the scales. I know some people are going to be absolutely laughing at this, like obviously you dumb bitch, but peanut butter on the scales, open the tub, then set your scales to 0, and then you can take it out and put it onto the meal, and this number on the scales here is always going to be accurate with the peanut butter that's also on the spoon. So 15 grams of peanut butter. So this is what the final product looks like. I will put the calories on the screen, but yeah, oh my god, I'm literally obsessed with this right now. It's so good. Okay, gang, it is 1 PM and I am heading off to the gym. Admittedly, this is a little bit later than I would have liked, but work was busy, so it is what it is. We're here now, 1 o'clock, and had my pre-workout meal, had a scoop of pre. I I really do need to stop taking pre every single time I work out. And yeah, I'm about to hit an upper session. I'm actually about to do the exact same session that I did in last week's vlog, but don't worry, G became prepared. I knew you guys wouldn't want to see the same thing again, so I filmed yesterday's glute session, and that's going to be the next thing in this vlog. I'm going to basically run you through yesterday's glute session. I have two things to update you on. Number one is I got myself some Beat over the ear headphones, and I love them. I love them. Like, I had the Beat in the ear ones before, which were good. Like, they were good. What did I have before those? What did I have before those? Oh, I was using my AirPods, which I didn't really rate for the gym. I didn't think they were loud enough. So I got the Beat ones that go in your ears. They are good, but they were like starting to hurt my ears. So now I've gone for these like wireless ones over the ear, and they're so bougie, but I fucking love them. And also the other thing I wanted to say was I have been converted. People, if you are an OG follower, you will fucking know that I literally do not wear any other legging brand than Lululemon, and I swear by the Aligns. I said, you will never ever convince me. I will always buy the Aligns, which are expensive. They're like £88 a pair. But do you know what? A couple of weeks ago, I thought, I'm just gonna give the Rider Wear leggings a shot, you know? I'm just gonna give them a shot because they look great on other people. And I wasn't sold until they came, and now I'm fucking sold on these animal ones. These are the black, so you can't really see them, but I now have them in black, grey, pink and blue, and I ain't fucking mad about it, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna go and hit my session, and then I will see you after the workout clip where we will be hitting a post-workout meal. To this session's voiceover, I'm going to run you through my glutes and hamstring focused leg day, which I did the day previous to the vlogging footage that you're seeing. So we always start with banded stuff just to warm up, so do a couple of reverse lunges, a couple of kickbacks, just to get my glutes fired up, especially because now I sit on my arse all day. It's nice to kind of just warm up the muscle groups that we're using. So first exercise is the abductor machine. This goes for every exercise that I do in my sessions. I'll normally do 2 to 3 feeler sets, which is lighter weight just to get a feel for the movement, pattern, and then on this one, 2 working sets. Pretty happy with these. Again, we work till failure here, pretty much. 1 set of 8 to 10, 1 set of 12 to 15. Then we swiftly move on into the seated leg curl. On this leg day specifically, I do these 2 isolation movements before my big compounds, just to really target my hamstrings. My hamstrings and my glutes are something that I really want to bring up for my show next year. So we do these first before we head into the compounds, especially because I'm doing RDLs today. Like, RDLs, you don't really get much connection in your hamstrings, so it's really nice to do these first and feel them in the hamstrings. So again, just 2 working sets here. One of them was 12 to 15, one of them was 6 to 8. Right, the reason I wanted to sit down and run you through this session was just because it did not go to plan. It did not go to plan. So I'm programmed RDLs, which are what you are seeing here, and this is one of my feeler sets. This moves so well, and my lifts on this movement have been progressing so well. I actually got up to 140 kilos on this a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been feeling really nice. However, since then I've been degressing in this movement a lot, so I just can't seem to hit my numbers. So here, 140, bear in mind I've done this before. This is all in the mind, right? This is all in the mind. So I'd already was thinking before I even did this, I ain't gonna do it. So watch this pussy rep to the knees, pussied out, no self-belief. Go again. Shocking, right? Absolutely fuming. And it's just got to a point now with this RDL where I've just absolutely nailed it, and I needed to switch to something else. So I messaged Callum while I was in the gym and said, look, I want to change my RDLs to straight leg deadlifts. So I filmed my set fired it over to him and he gave me the all clear. So we're now going to switch out our RDLs for straight leg deadlifts. Difference between them, as you can see on this RDL, on this SDL, sorry, we touch the floor. So the bar touches the floor. It's very, very similar to a deadlift, but with just a lot more of a straighter leg. So these felt good. We worked up to 100 kg and it's just going to be a nice little movement to progress on. Next thing that didn't go so well, the gym was so busy that there was no benches. So I ended up having to use this little step for my hip thrusts. And I don't like change. I hate it when I have to mix things up with my training or do exercises in different order. Like, I'm that person that will sit and wait for an exercise just because I don't want to do something else first. So I was pretty fuming about the fact that I was having to use this shitty bench to hinge from, but actually it felt pretty good. And we worked up to, what are we looking at here, 160 on there. So probably will use that bench again. Next movement, single leg press. Again, something that I'm really happy with at the moment, and it's progressing so well. Working up, I think last time I did this, I did 120 kilos aside for 8. So today, we just put another 5 kg on, which arguably for a leg press isn't very much. It's not much more load, but progression is progression, and we got 10 reps on 125 on this session. So didn't start out the best with the RDLs, absolute mind block with those, but you know what, that happens. Like, you can't continuously, I've probably been doing that RDL for over a year now, and absolutely rinsed it, which is what you should do. Like, my program rarely changes. Every sort of like 12 to 16 weeks my program will change, if that. So I really get the opportunity to rinse movements. So glad we swapped that out. These single leg presses felt fucking amazing. Last couple of reps were tough, but enjoyable. One thing that has changed massively for me in the last sort of year is just my intensity and execution with my lifts. Like, I used to think that I trained hard in the gym, but the more that I follow bodybuilding, the more that I progress within this sport and this journey, the more I'm teaching myself to train harder. So repping till absolute failure, and it is definitely something that you have to learn, and it is definitely something that comes through visualization and the mind. But again, it is just something that I'm learning. So my training sessions have never been so tough, and my training sessions have never been so progressive. Anyway, going back to this was my last exercise, which was the single leg curl. And we did one set, muscle round, 4 reps on each leg. So it would be 4 reps on left, 4 reps on right, 4 reps on left, 4 reps on right. So it's basically just 4 blocks of 4 in one big set, and that's it. No more sets, just that one set. So yeah, that was my session. I'm super happy with my training at the moment. Like, even though I'm on poverty calories at the moment, I am still either matching my logbook or progressing in my logbook. And yeah, training is just amazing. Like, I have never been in a better place with my training sessions. I obviously make sure that I log everything that I do. I mean, it would be rude not to when you have your own logbook. And yeah, I've just never felt so focused. And I know that every single session that I perform to my absolute best in goes towards stage next year. So I am enjoying this cutting phase a lot, but I am also really excited to do sort of the rest of the year into January in a surplus. Obviously that surplus is going to be the optimal place to build muscle, to bring up the areas that I really want to bring up. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I hope you enjoyed the voiceover. Let me know in the comments whether you prefer an edit or whether you prefer the voiceover. I can always go into way more detail with these if you want it, so just let me know. Let's crack on. Okay, we are home from the gym. Obviously I didn't just train glutes, that was yesterday, but I hope you enjoyed the video slash training slash whatever the fuck I decided to do with that edit. It is now 3:30. That gym session was 2.5 hours long, which is I don't even care. I don't even care that I spent over 2 hours in the gym. Such a good session, and I'm now home about to cook my post-workout meal, which is 130 grams of chicken with a packet of rice. It's basically exactly the same meal I had in my last vlog. A packet of vegetables with rice, and the Philadelphia light cheese. I'm gonna get back to some check-ins because, surprise, surprise, 3 hours away from a laptop always ends up in a lot of work. And then I'm doing a podcast with Nadia and Hannah, and I can tell you something for nothing, it's gonna be a bloody good podcast. And that is my chicken done. Okay, it is 7 o'clock in the evening, and call me mental because I am mental. I'm going to do my cardio, which me with my toe finger shoes. I promised myself yesterday that I wouldn't leave my cardio this late today, but we have, because to be honest with you, since I got home from the gym, I've literally just worked the whole time, and I still have so much work to do. So I had another meal which was the same as earlier, 150 grams of blueberries with 40 grams of whey and 15 grams of peanut butter. Ideally, I don't want to be having the same meals in the same day. Like, that is a lot of blueberries I've had today, and a lot of whey, but I'm in such a rush. I feel like I don't have time to make. I would have preferred to have had a chicken and veg meal then, but today has just been manic and I don't have the time. So we're gonna go and rock out cardio, and then we're gonna come home, have our final meal, and then just work for the rest of the evening. So it is currently Friday morning, and I'm going to wrap up the video for this week here. The last clip that you saw from 2 days ago wasn't the best way to end a full day of eating. Like, ideally that wouldn't be my normal meal setup. It hasn't been my normal meal setup for this whole mini cut basically. I literally had the craziest, busiest day unexpectedly. So yeah, like I said in the video, I would have changed that blueberry meal for a chicken and veg meal. But this was my calories and macros for the day. A little bit over on protein, a little bit under on carbs, but to be honest, I'm not too bothered. Like, when I'm harsh dieting, I actually prefer to have more protein than carbs. So that was my macros for the day. Calories were hit, and it is what it is. Like, I thought I'd include it anyway, because sometimes things don't go to plan, sometimes things crop up, but it's about working around it and still making sure that you're within your calorie target for in a dieting phase, because as we know, it's calories in versus calories out. Calorie target is the most important thing. Admittedly, 1/3 of my intake that day came from blueberries, but it is what it is. Yeah, like, obviously I did my cardio session in that last clip, and it's a long story and I'm not going to go into it on this vlog. So the last couple of days have been stressful and emotional, not emotional, but like just stressful. But either way, I checked in this morning, my last official check-in of this mini cut. So it's been 4 weeks. I checked in at 67.7 kilos this morning. So I started this cut at 70.3, so that just kind of gives you reference on how much weight I lost in the last 4 weeks. Obviously, like I mentioned in this video, it is a harsh dieting phase. That's all I'm going to do now. Like, I'll still diet until my shoot, which is on Wednesday, and then the goal is just to go back into a surplus. So I'm super happy with how things have gone. Like, even though there's only like 2 and a bit kilos gone from these photos, I feel so much better in myself. Like, at the end of that, when I was 70.3 kilos, I was feeling pretty fluffy. I wasn't confident enough to wear a sports bra, just a sports bra in the gym, unfortunately. Like, you can fucking be like, oh my god, you still look good, but that is how I personally felt. And my appetite was not great, as in I just was not bothered about food. So it's actually been really nice to take these 4 weeks away into a dieting phase. So yeah, we're gonna just carry on doing what we're doing for the next couple of days leading up into the shoot. And that has been my mini cut. I know obviously I've started these vlogs halfway through this mini cut, but the next step for me now is, like I said, we're going to go back into a surplus all the way until sort of January or February, depending on show dates, and then it will be time to prep again. So yeah, these are just some photos, by the way, of like comparing my start of my mini cut to the end of my mini cut. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.